Okay, so in this video, we're going to be writing equations in point-slope form. All right, this is the first part of the videos for this notes. So we're just going to go over this first bullet point here. We're going to write an equation in point-slope form when we're given both the slope and the point on the line, okay? All right, so let's define point-slope form first. All right, so point-slope form of a line. If you're given the slope, m, and the line contains the point x1 comma y1, then we can describe that line by the equation y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1, okay? So this in blue here is point-slope form of a line, okay? Now we've already gone over standard form, and we've already gone over slope-intercept forms. This is the third form of a linear equation that you're going to deal with here, okay? And that doesn't even include the vertical line and the horizontal line that we went over earlier too, okay? So point-slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, right? I'm going to skip over the slope formula for now because we don't need that in this video. We will need it in part 2, okay? So in example 1, notice in all three problems we're given both the slope and a point that is on the line, okay? In parts A, B, and C, we're all given the same thing here, okay? So we know point-slope form now. That's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, the y1 here, that's going to be the y-coordinate of the point that's given. So I'm going to replace y1 with this 1. I'm going to replace m with the value I know slope to be, and I'm going to replace x1 with the x-coordinate here, 4. Now notice we're not going to plug anything in here for y or for x because we need a y and an x in there unless we're dealing with a vertical line or horizontal line. And these definitely aren't one of those, okay? So when I plug those values in, again, I'm going to plug in 1 here, I'm going to plug in 2/5 here, and I'm going to plug in 4 here. Okay, so when I do that, you'll notice I get my equation y minus 1 equals 2/5 times x minus 4. Now this is the answer because there's nothing else I can do. I can't simplify anything, okay? And I want to leave it in this form because that's what point-slope form looks like, okay? In a video later, in the next set of notes, we'll convert this to slope-intercept form. But for now, we want to leave our equation in point-slope form, okay? So that's the answer for part A. All right, let's look at part B. The slope is -3/4, and we know one point on the line is -2 comma -4, okay? So again, I know my point-slope form. I'm going to replace y1 this time with a -4, okay? This minus sign's already there, and I'm going to replace this with -4. So I'm going to show you what happens when we've got those back-to-back negative signs. You should know, but we'll talk about it here. I'm going to replace slope with -3/4, and I'm going to replace x1 with a -2, okay? So again, I'm going to have back-to-back negative signs there as well. So when we plug those values in, notice I've got y minus a -4 because I'm always going to subtract the y-coordinate, and this time the y-coordinate happens to be negative. So both these negative signs have to be there for now. If you don't do that, that's going to be a common mistake area where you only have one of those, and it's going to make you create an error there, okay? We replaced m with -3/4, and I replaced x1 with -2. Again, both these negative signs have to be there. Okay. By now, you know if we've got these back-to-back negative signs, subtracting that -4 is just like adding a +4. So I need to clean up this these signs here. That becomes y plus 4 on the left side. On the right side, I've got to clean up these two signs here, and it becomes x plus 2 in parentheses on the right side, okay? So this is the answer for part B. All right. And part C, you know, pause the video here and give that one a try, and then come back and check your work. All right. Part C, you know, once you've seen both of these, hopefully you could do this without any problem. Again, we know what point-slope form is. We're going to replace y1 with the y-coordinate here, which is 0. M we're going to replace with 1/2, and x1 we're going to replace with -6. Okay. Plug those values in. Okay. Nothing I can do here. Generally, I would clean that up and just call that y. But in point-slope form, I'm going to leave that 0 there. So we know the y-coordinate for this point we're dealing with is 0. Okay? Equals 1/2 times x minus a -6. Anytime you see these back-to-back negative signs there, we've got to combine those into a positive. So my final answer for part C is going to be y minus 0 equals 1/2 times x plus 6, okay? So that's how you write an equation in point-slope form. Notice we left these in this form, okay, when you're given the slope and a point.